The hustle is real. This is how I built my content and baking brands. Let's get into it. Welcome to another episode. If you missed the first few episodes, go back and listen to them. I've talked about my baking journey and why I've changed paths. I've talked about exploring the world of content creation. And I also reshared two interviews that I had with two super amazing home bakers who have transformed their baking journey as well. They both offer resources to home bakers, cake artists. I've learned so much from them. So you can check out those two interviews. Okay, so let's get into building my content and baking brand. In this episode, I'm going to go into like the early days of me creating content, and we're going to go into some milestones and successes, and then the evolution of my content and some of the challenges and strategies that I've learned, the impact that I've made. I'm going to talk about my initial motivations for starting content creation. I was pretty much burnt out from making cakes, taking cake orders, things like that. I felt like I'm a cake lady. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be selling cakes. I realized that I would have to do a lot of work or have to raise my prices or take a lot of cake orders in order to make this like a thing. I don't want to be stuck in the kitchen. I don't want to like research each cake order, and I don't want to bake all the time. I didn't want to like dismiss my skills or my gift either. So I had to figure out a way to, so that's basically the reason why like I wanted to start. And I said if I could devote 3 years and everything to this and learn it and content and all the things, little pieces to it, to try to build a community, figuring out what my audience wants. And, I knew that this is going to take some time. So I went ahead and I went all in, had everything that I needed to start making tutorials. Did little dishes and all this stuff. Like the little things that you need to make, food content. So I just used what I had in my kitchen, and I just started creating and just recording myself, basically, just recording myself. When I first started, all I did really was spend a lot of time just creating and organizing the things that I would record, putting in folders in my phone and just organizing that so that way when it came time to like do something with all this stuff I recorded, like I know like, where it is. So kind of like just starting to build the content. So I'm going to show you some of my recordings that I did, my first tutorials that I did. So I started a YouTube channel in April of 2020. Again, look at these past 3, 4 years, I've just been testing the waters, testing things out, seeing, what I like to record, doing the things that felt comfortable to me, but I was still like putting myself out there. What I mean by that is letting my inspiration lead me, being comfortable with myself and what I'm doing, but still knowing like, pieces of this is going to be uncomfortable too. But the comfortable part of it is that I'm doing what I like. One of the biggest challenges that I had, uncertainty about the direction that I was going to go. So when I started, like, I just knew, okay, I'm going to start a blog. I know with a blog, I'm going to do a lot of how-to tutorial, showing people the different things of different aspects of cake decorating. But from a beginner standpoint, I wanted to do a lot of fondant things and a lot of beginner things, a lot of advanced things. But when it comes down to it, like you got to make the content. Another one would be like lack of audience. So a lot of people are scared to do things because they don't have a following. The followers come when you do the thing. You're actually talking about it and you're putting it out, and people will come. People will like what you do, like no matter what it is, somebody out there will like it. I wanted to share some of my milestones and successes since I've started. So one of the first milestones that I had was when I reached 10K followers on Facebook. And prior to that, I really wanted to get 10K followers. The truth is that I had a viral video. It was like 2 million hits on that video. You don't know what video is going to go viral. You don't know when you're going to get a lot of followers. You don't know. Back then, like I didn't really set myself up for success when that would happen. That was like a huge opportunity, right? Because I had all these eyeballs on my one video. People are commenting, people are going to my website, trying to go to my shop. And I don't have really anything set up yet. I have my blog posts, but I didn't really have like an email list set up. When I started looking into my numbers and I just, seeing how I did year 1, year 2, whatever, year 3, something that I noticed. So if you're someone that is that is serious about making content and you're trying to build your own baking brand or your own brand, whatever it is, really think about the pieces of content that you're putting out there, the things that you have set in place in the back end. Because so that way when you have a viral video or a lot of people have a lot of interest, you have something for them to go to. It felt kind of scary and uncomfortable because one, I had put out a video talking about why I'm no longer the cheap cake lady. Reading all the comments, responding. I responded to almost every single comment. People are going to comment things, right? When people are looking stuff on social media, they don't have no feelings attached to you or nothing like that. They see something, they're going to say something, they're going to comment what they like, what they don't like, give their 2 cents, good or bad or neutral or whatever, So my first time reading that type of stuff and just seeing how this feels. I want to make sure that I'm known for something positive and that's helping other women, other bakers, cake artists, aspiring cake artists, hobbyists, whoever out there, regardless of what I'm putting out. Huge milestone for me was when I did my first live class. I wanted to try it out and see how I liked it and everything. And that was uncomfortable and that was scary. But I wanted to slowly remove myself from being known as someone that accepts cake orders and more of someone that's known teaching about cake decorating, talking about cake decorating, and the things that, go on as a home baker and all of that stuff. I wanted to be known more for that. Slowly trying to transition myself away from that. For Facebook at the time, they had the Reels bonuses. My video went viral on Facebook. I ended up making $1,000 on Facebook just from posting my Reels and being consistent with it. If you're not feeding the algorithm, like right after that, I should have been spitting out another video about that, because people were following me based off that one video. Yeah, and I thought to myself, wow, I'm making this money on here and I didn't have to sell a cake. I didn't have to go crazy. I'm doing something that I already want to do. And I don't have all the extra stuff that I don't really want to deal with. I was like, what? I said earlier, like my initial motivation to begin content creation was that with blogging, I can make money through ads, right? The more traffic that I get to my blog, the more, ads are being seen and the more money that I can make from that. Not only am I providing value, providing, tutorials and insight of, within cake decorating and all that stuff, I'm getting a little something from it too. And this was something that is supposed to be like long term, that is built, long term, because I have to like put in the work with my blog. I have to promote it on Pinterest. I have to promote it within, social media and make content that promotes, that and all that stuff. With Google AdSense, February of last year, I actually applied twice. First time, they didn't accept me, and I think it was because I didn't have enough like content on my blog. The second time they did. So same thing with like Amazon storefront. The first time I applied, I didn't get it, but once I got the 10K followers on Facebook, I used that account and I was able to open up an Amazon storefront. I knew that having your own platform was very important because you want to promote your stuff on social media, but you want to get them off of the platform and onto what you have and provide value to them on your email list. Building the blog, I didn't have really a color scheme or anything. I do like the color pink. The look of my blog and my content and all that stuff, it like made it on its own. Like I just recorded this stuff. I wasn't worrying about aesthetics and I need to have this and that, everything has to be the same color and match, or everything has to look pretty in the background and, all that stuff. I didn't worry about any of that. I'm going to talk about how my content has evolved. I wanted everything to look like a production, like how a production does their videos and all that stuff. Like that's how I wanted my stuff to look like. I wanted it to come off that it was really structured. I did it all myself. And not only am I making the content, I'm writing the blog posts, I'm putting that together. The first time that I felt like I found my voice was when I started talking about how I didn't like selling cakes. And I've been told to not really talk about that, sharing things that I do and getting feedback and stuff from people that know more than me and that have been doing this longer than me. It wasn't like, oh, don't talk about it at all, but it was just like, I don't know if you want to talk negatively about something, about the very thing you're trying to get people to do. I still have this skill. And it's not something for me that I can do full time that I genuinely enjoy doing for myself. And I also think that it's important for me to say that, and I think it's okay that it's not something that I like, that it's my favorite, it's not my favorite thing. Yeah, finding my voice and talking about why I'm no longer the cheap cake lady and that with the cake orders and all that stuff and how I was feeling and everything. That's when I really felt like I found my voice. Now I'm going to move towards some of the challenges and strategies. So one of the biggest challenges is consistency, making sure I'm posting something every day or promoting myself every day. The thing I heard about was that you should be promoting yourself 80% of the time and 20% of the time should go into like creating. And lots of the time we're spending 20% promoting ourselves and 80% creating. If you've seen my content, yeah, I repurpose my content. It's really difficult and time consuming to make new content all the time. Especially if you don't have a team or anybody kind of helping you with this. Finding ways to make videos, any type of content, right? Not just real things like blog posts, podcast episodes, YouTube videos, advice out there. And one thing is that it's like, do what your audience wants, do what your audience wants. But like, you don't know what your audience wants until you like just put something out there. Put something out there that you like to do, that you want to do. And a lot of it mostly is just not having enough confidence to promote yourself. People think they have to create, but like when are you promoting your work and the things that you want people to join? Not worrying about followers and just, doing the things that inspire you and sharing that. And then looking at that data, right? When you look back at your content, you should sit down and just look at everything. Look at your YouTube analytics, look at your TikTok analytics, see what is resonating with people, right? And what is it that you like? From there, you're going to have to figure some stuff out. To talk about something or be about something that you can easily talk about all the time. Now, let's get into the last part of this, the positive impact of content creation. When people start making content and everything, it's like, oh, money, money, money. I want to make money online. I want to make impact and be successful and make money and time with my family and to do things that I like to do. Like it shows you, like, do you like doing this? Like every day, do you like doing this? Are you putting forth effort into this? Are you engaging with other people, thinking of things to create to add value to your community? I have made so many meaningful connections and have gotten so much support from students that come into my world that want to learn from me, meeting home business bakers, bakery business owners, just anyone, people that are just doing it for fun. So it's really been a blessing to be in this space, getting uncomfortable and putting myself out there and not being shy, because before I was like, I would never show myself online. So we talked about a lot. Hopefully it all makes sense because there's a lot. There's so much that we can cover. All right, so I'm going to end there. And yeah, follow me at Heaven My Cake across all social media platforms. You can also subscribe to my newsletter for tips and all the fun cake decorating things. Take care.